It's your boy Coach. You know what time it is, man. First things first, shout out to our sponsors. Route never stop. City to city, state to state, the route never stops. Whether you're a truck driver, a hustler, or a 9-to-5er, the route never stops. So listen, I got a special guest in the building. I'm gonna give you an introduction. I got entrepreneur, author, the founder of HHF, hustler. I got the legendary brother, Pimpin. Thank you for coming through, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know, my audience, we're like New York based, but I'm expanding it, and my audience loves stories, and I feel like you have a legendary story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't even remember how I even figured out the story, but I know who you are. I wish I could tell you how, but it's like I feel like I grew up watching you.
Yeah.
By default, I'm a '90s baby.
Yeah, everybody watching me.
Yeah.
Because it started back in '95. I did this thing called Pimps Up, Hoes Down, and it was seen by over 1 billion people on HBO. That's before streaming and all this.
It was a documentary?
It was a documentary, and at that time, you know, a lot of people heard about the pimping and the game, but they never seen it. So, you know, I'm on there, you know, I got on $100,000 Rolexes and meat coats, and, you know, we pulling up in Rolls Royces, and that's the first time people got a glimpse of the pimping. So, you know, I was like the forerunner for that, you know, the first one who ever, you know, took it to national status. And from that, you know, a lot of rappers and shit seen it, so they wanted to come and they wanted me to kind of have my question. I did the PIMP video with 50 Cent.
Oh, you was in that? Wow.
So Pimpin said, "Don't down and crown," and that was me with the blue suit.
Oh, wow.
50 Cent was rapping about me in Problem Child. So if you're a pimp like Ken, why the hoes don't treat you? You know,
Problem Child, that was one of his mixtapes, right?
Yeah, it was on this mixtape. So they've been talking about me for years, and then I did 2 albums with Lil Jon that sold over 13 million. I did 5 albums with Pimp C. I did 5 albums with Pastor Troy. I did albums with the Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy
Mac
Kane?
10, yeah, Mac 10,
Wow.
Big Daddy Kane, Ice-T. You know, so that's how a lot of people know me. They might have been driving the car and their daddy might have been playing Pimpin' Ken said, "Don't down them, bitch." You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So a lot of kids grew up, you know, in that era listening to me, but probably not really paying attention because they were too young to understand the pimp game.
That was me,
But,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I was really prevalent, and I've been on I was on 5 videos that was on BET Countdown at the same time. You know, that's how much people was paying me and giving me money because, you know, they never seen the game, you know, because I was the #1 pimp in the country, in the world. You know what I'm saying? And they never seen it, you know, so electrifying the way I was presenting it. And, you know, I wasn't a bomb. I wasn't no crackhead nigga. I wasn't the pimp nigga that just tell old stories. I was a nigga with the Versace suits with the gold buttons and shit. You know, niggas never seen it like that. You know, and I was from Milwaukee, so that really was baffling. Like, this nigga from Milwaukee, what's that, beer and cheese?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So niggas, they couldn't.
All they know is the Packers.
They couldn't make the connection. This nigga ain't from New York. I was born in Chicago, but, you know, I was coming, you know, representing the mill, right? So niggas couldn't understand that. It's like, who the fuck is this nigga? So, you know, I had to just do extra shit. Like, when I knock a nigga out of New York, I would always give him a Wall Street Journal, right? And I take a banana, I peel a banana, I put the banana in the journal. I said, "Niggas in the news, you've been peeled for your bitch." You know, and the nigga,
Oh, yeah?
was like, this nigga crazy.
So when is this, the 90s?
Yeah, this is in the 90s. I used to take ketchup and put ketchup bottles in my niggas' motherfucking wheels and say, "Nigga, you need to catch up. My game's niggas high. You'll never be thick as mine. You've been in the mustard too long, nigga." You know what I mean? So, you know, that kind of shit got me kind of known, but I was originated. You know, I created my own little style, my own flavor, right? And I had all the sayings and shit. That's why artists paid me so I made millions of dollars just talking on. So that's how you met me. You know what I'm saying? I came to the game through Pimps Up, Hoes Down. Every nigga was like, he was amazed with, you know, a nigga from the mill, you know, which would be considered a country town with so much flavor and so much game. But they didn't know my daddy was players, my uncles was players. You know, I come from the game. I was literally born in the game. So I seen this shit all my life. Niggas didn't know, you know what I mean? I sold dope, you know what I mean? Shot niggas been shot, you know what I'm saying? I've been shot 5 times, you know, in shootouts all the time, you know. I ran blocks and shit, you know what I'm saying? I did all the shit that niggas do, but the thing that made me comfortable was pimping, you know. So when I got into the pimp game, all that gangster shit, all that crazy shit, I put that shit to the side. Because ING mean I'm not going to send the bitch. Now I'm sending the bitch taking all the life chances. She give me my money, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have to do all this. She ain't got to be laying for a nigga, you know, to take him out or whatever, you know, that goofy shit we was doing as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So once I got my game and it elevated, even the gangster niggas, you know, that knew me, I'd already made a name for myself. Being, you know, a street there, my cousin, and they all GDs, gangster disciples and shit. They, you know, my family heavily in that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Niggas knew me from, you know, all type of lifestyles. So I had a whole lot of street credibility before the pimping.
Okay.
Pimping, when pimping did it allows me to pimp freely because niggas didn't want to come up on me because they know I was with that, I was about that action.
Right.
You know, and if I was about that action, my family was. So, you know, that's what made me escape. So pretty niggas see me coming to the hood, you know, in the Rolls Royce or in the Benz or something, you know, looking real fresh. And niggas like, why niggas don't rob that nigga? Because I already established myself. So it allowed me to do shit that other niggas couldn't do. So I was able to go on the block, you know, sit down with my wino partners and buy them some wine and shit. Or, you know, throwing my niggas that fell short on crack, get them a little money, you know what I'm saying, get them some crack or something. You know, so I was that type of nigga.
Okay, so
in my hood.
For those who don't know, you was born in Chicago.
Born in Chicago.
Okay, how long did you stay in Chicago?
You know, I caught a murder, attempted murder at 14. And
wow.
It was crazy because it really wasn't no, it was just, they just told it was some bullshit, man. It was the worst, but it was in this place called Oak Park. That's like.
What part of Chicago is that? Like north side, south side?
That's the Ku Klux Klan area. So I lived on the west side. So you walk 2 blocks, you in all white Klans neighborhood. So we was over there, and my brother pushed the dude off the track.
A white
dude. Okay. So he fell. In Chicago, they got the third rail. The third rail is if you hit it, all 3 rails at the same time, it electrocute you. You know what I'm saying? So it would have to be damn near act of God for it to happen. But you know, because we was in a racist neighborhood, they gave us, so they sent me straight to the Cook County Jail. That's where all the gladiators and gangbangers and shit at. But you know, my daddy was a player, so we was shy at 14. We wasn't no regular 14-year-old.
Your father from Chicago?
Yeah, my father from Mississippi, but he came to Chicago. He migrated. Okay. So you know, niggas respected us. So we made it through the grace of God through that. Man, I seen so many niggas get stabbed and fucking beaten head with fucking mops and shit up in that motherfucker. We made it, man. It's just the nigga named Finney, he was calling for the L Rookers. The nigga named Black, he was calling for the GDs. Both of them niggas liked me and my brother, you know what I'm saying? So they was like, man, when they got ready to the war and shit, they tell y'all young niggas go in your room. And all we had to do was tell the motherfucker that we was, my brother lied and said that we were 18, thought we'd get right out, still go to juvenile. You know what I'm saying? So they ended up getting us in real jail. All we had to do was tell the truth, but my brother was so scared of my daddy because my daddy used to be very abusive. He'd beat us with extension cords and he'd break your fucking jaw. You know, Pops was no joke, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he'd kick your ass. So we were scared to tell, you know, because you know, we were scared of my daddy. So we rather be around that killer shit than to go face my daddy. So that's what happened. And they still charged us, though we never told them who we really was. So I was Ken Rose, he was Bill Rose. So our real name was Ken Ivy and Collie Ivy. But we ended up getting out of that, got probation, but you know what I'm saying, of course we never went. But my mama, she was so scared because we didn't tell her where we was for the whole time. So she was,
how long was that?
It was 3 months we stayed in the county jail. So she was like, y'all got to go. Y'all got to go. So we went to Milwaukee, and then that's how my Milwaukee thing came. Then I met a dude named John Devine. He was from the South Side. You know, he's from Chicago. So we was the best friends. So we started robbing banks and shit and robbing jewelry stores together. And I ended up going to reformatory school. So when I get out of reformatory school, he got 3 hoes. You know what I'm saying?
And so, this is like your teenage years?
Yeah, this is when I was about 16. So okay. I told him, I said, I need one of them bitches, man. He said, which one you want? I said, give me the one that's light bright with the pussy down there, candy shot. I want the other bitch right there.
You just knew she was a hot commodity?
Yeah. 30 red, she was 24. That bitch, you know, she kind of gave me my motherfucking introduction to the pimping. And I used to be around them old niggas that be, you know, because you know, like old niggas, they meet up in houses and shit back then, and they be tooting cocaine and heroin and shit. I didn't get high, you know what I'm saying? So I used to just sit there and just watch some niggas do that shit. But they was some cold niggas that be spitting gang. I be peeping their gang. So I took them niggas gang and I took it to another level. So
for those who don't know, right, I'm familiar with Milwaukee. I actually caught a case in Wisconsin. That's a whole other story. Ozaki County. They done lit my ass up. That's a whole other story. So Milwaukee's an hour away from Chicago. What's the culture like in Milwaukee? Because you know, New Yorkers, they don't really know. You know, you gotta give them the game.
Well, I like to tell niggas from New York, man, don't sleep on them niggas. They not country boys. They straight killers. You know what I'm saying? Gangsters. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they got a lot of game. You know what I mean? You just look at me, you know what I'm saying? Just think of how many niggas I didn't put up on game, and I'm considered the top in the world, you know what I'm saying? So it's a fast town, right? But the way the game go, I'll give you a better example. Say your brother, he's a gangster, he's a robber, he jacking niggas. You got to work, you selling dope, right? I'm pimping. But we doing this in a little box. So everybody know everybody business because everybody get game in real time. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we bump into each other.
Small,
so he teach you about the crime,
yeah.
man. He teach you about the pimping. He teach you about how to sell drugs. He teach you about how to rob niggas. So you getting all this game. So everybody know everything. So it's like a little box full of game. And then, you know, it don't work until you get out of the city.
So that's the move. Everybody got to leave the city to go up.
Because just think about it. If you in the box, then you know all my moves, right?
Yeah.
If your brother in the box, he know all my moves. So we can't get out of there. So it's like a crab bucket.
Big fish in a small pond.
Yes, there's a crab in the bucket. So so all the games that I had, I didn't know it was game until I went to New York. I didn't know it was game until I went to Detroit. Until I went to all these other towns, and niggas like, man, you a cold nigga. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I know a bunch of niggas like me in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? So that's how Milwaukee is. You know what I'm saying? And they like to dress. You know what I'm saying? They some fresh dressing niggas. Them niggas, they will not wear, you can't wear no fake Gucci in Milwaukee. You can't wear no fake Fendi. You can't wear nothing fake. Them niggas, you know, they like to spend money. They like, you know, they'll take their last money, man. They won't pay their rent to make sure they got on some motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's New York shit too.
$1,500 kicks on. Yeah. You know, and that's how them niggas is up there. So that's pretty much what it is. But it's really it's a motherfucking, if you want to be the proper, it's a little hub to Chicago.
I can tell.
It's the same.
Yeah.
All niggas
same
Chicago,
culture. Yeah.
Like when if a nigga a snitch or something, if a nigga a weak ass nigga in Chicago, he probably gonna run his ass to Milwaukee and try to act like he
the big dog.
And start killing niggas and doing crazy shit. 'Cause that's what the niggas was doing. They come over Chicago, they bring a lot of motherfucking noise, but they wouldn't bring the noise to them niggas over there in Shot.
Was you going to the shot while you doing what you doing?
Shot, so I'm back and forth.
Okay.
So, like I said, my cousin now is head leaders of gangs and shit up there. So, you know, it's like, you know, when I came up there, it was like, you know, it was like I never left. You know, 'cause, you know, got bought all my shoes there, all my clothes, you know, Milwaukee.
Just an hour away,
Yeah, they ain't really had no slick shit for me, you know what I'm saying? So all my gators and shit, I had bought it from Detroit, Chicago. So I was there, you know, I hung out on the west side with Bishop Don Juan and Seymour now. You know, niggas, I'm from Chicago. Don't get it twisted. Niggas know that. But, you know what I'm saying? I rep Milwaukee because, you know, Bishop had Chicago and other niggas had New York. I want my own city. So that was my city, you know what I'm saying? And I want my own identity. So I chose Milwaukee as the city to rep. And because it was so small and because I had so much game, it gave me more leverage and it gave me more look, you know, because it's like, he coming from a small town. So if a nigga didn't know I was from Chicago, they said, oh, this nigga from Milwaukee, what the fuck, where the fuck is Milwaukee? It's like saying Syracuse, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shit like that. They're like, what the fuck, Syracuse, what the niggas going down there? You know, like, you know, or from Yonkers, you know what I'm saying? When niggas say Yonkers, you should say motherfucking Jadakiss, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, who do you know from Yonkers?
DMX, Mary, they got a small hub.
I mean, I'm talking about rappers. I'm talking
about
hustlers. You know?
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. If you say New York, you know, all kind of names come up. You know what I mean? Pee Wee Kirkland. You know, Frank Lucas. You know, I mean, y'all got Frank Matthews. Y'all got a billion niggas that's got money out there, motherfucker.
Nah, that's a fact, especially that era, like the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go to Milwaukee, you get the game, right? So you said you got introduced to. Your man had 3 hoes, and that's how you got introduced, and that was your introduction into the game.
Pimpin', yeah.
So what's life like after that?
So life like after that, I go back to jail because, you know, the hoes was too slow. The bitches was Cadillacs. I was a Corvette. They was too slow for me, right?
Okay.
I'm so used to getting, you know, 50,000 on a lick, you know what I'm saying? Go to the bank, stash 40,000 out the drawer, you know what I mean? So you trying to wait for a bitch to give you $1,000 in 10 hours, man. That was like, to me, that was like slow money, right? But I found out that when I went back, kept going back and forth to jail, that, you know, the pimping was in me and not on me. Because, you know, we'd be sitting down in the dorm rooms, in the joint, you know, building this shit on the game. And, you know, I had the game, you know, because I got early introduction at 16 to a bad bitch named Dirty Red that most of the top flight pimps in the city had. So that bitch had laced me up. So, and then it just kept going around, and all the pimp niggas would hang with me in jail, you know, all those wannabe pimps at that time, I would say. You know, we'd read the Donald Goins and niggas would be in the yard building on the Pimpin'. So I said, man, you know.
Donald Goins, that's Iceberg Slim.
Yeah. So I get out again, right? A motherfucker give me he give me, what they call 9 ounces, what they call it, a quarter key or something? Yeah, so he give me a quarter key. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what the fuck to do with it, so I fucked it off, you know what I'm saying? I'm gambling and shit, you know, having fun with the money. I didn't know it was supposed to, you know, give it back the next, as soon as you sell it. So he was a Cuban motherfucker. So he kept talking shit. I pistol whipped him and shit, you know. Said, man, I ain't giving you shit, man. Fuck you punk ass motherfucker. Go back to Cuba. You know what I'm saying? So I was on that wild shit. And then this other dude, Franco, he's another motherfucker. He gave one of the girls that I knew, he gave her like 10 keys. And you know what I'm saying? She tried to give me some work, and I said, I ain't with that shit, man. So I said, dope ain't for me. So you know what I'm saying? I went back and I committed another crime. I robbed another bank. I robbed 2 banks.
So when you said robbing bank, right?
Well, so what I used to do is I go into the bank, right? And I give me a bag of change, like $50, $100, $200 of change. And I give it to the teller. When she take it, she got to take it in the back, the counter. So when she go in the back, I jump over the counter and I just take the money out the drawer. You know what I'm saying? When they ain't looking yet, because there don't be nobody there, I just look around, see if anybody looking, I go in there.
How much you used to get at a time?
Sometimes you get 20, 30,000. Sometimes the most you're gonna get is about maybe 8,000, but you usually gonna get 20, 30. The second drawer is where the money at. That's where they keep all the hundreds. We found that out the hard way. We cashed in some money and then we seen them put the house. So we figured that out. But we've been doing this since I was like 16, you know, so we figured it out.
So that was your hustle, just robbing banks like that?
Well, it was the easiest way to get money, man. You give somebody a chain and they go and walk to the back, you just reach in the drawer and get the money. Then
they had no guards back then?
Back then, you know what I'm saying, it was different, you know, it's like, you know, it was a new hustle. We created that. Milwaukee niggas created that, you know what I'm saying? So we was doing that, you know what I'm saying? We had a whole crew of us, hillside niggas and Latin niggas. We was just knocking the socks off their ass. You know, everybody was stealing. But I got caught the last time because the bitch caught me in the drawer, right? And I was putting the money up and I looked at the bitch and I did like that. And the camera showed me mean mugging. In the feds, that's called intimidation. So that's how I got the robbery case. Before that, it was theft. It was theft all the way until then. So now the judge said I was facing 20 years. But I had a state case where I robbed a credit union too the same way. So I'm facing 40 years. So I had to make a decision. I had no co-defendants, right? So can't tell on nobody. You know, I ain't gonna tell nobody, but can't tell nobody. It's like me against the court. So I was like, man, what the fuck do I do?
What county was Milwaukee County?
Milwaukee County. So I told him. So the district attorney in the state was a nigga that was cool with me. He was a nigga that grew up in my hood. So he said, Ken, I'm gonna make the state case disappear. He said, but you're on your own in the feds. So they made the state case disappear.
What?
Yeah. And then the feds, they said the best plea we give you is 7 years. So, you know, I've been to joint so many times, man. You know, I can fight. You know, I ain't scared of no nigga.
So you're in your 20s at this point?
Yeah, I'm actually probably about 19. I got 20 years old, 20 years or 21. I just did a state bet. I come right out, caught this motherfucking punk ass fast case, and they wanted to give me 7 years. So I pleaded out, man, took the punk ass time, because I knew, you know, that I knew I was gonna be good, you know, because I ain't no serious motherfucker. So I went there, you know, did my time. And then while I was there, that's when it dawned on me, man, you know, because my partner was out there, he was having this way, he had convertibles and all kind of shit. He used to send me pictures and shit.
What he was getting into?
He was pimping.
Okay.
So I said, man, I gotta get out, man. I gotta stay mashed on the bitch, right? It's all on the bitch, you know. So I can't do no more crying. So when I came home, it was just strictly pimping.
So when you came home, would you worry about the consequences of pimping? Because, you know, that's not, I know Vegas is legal, but that's not illegal.
It went bad then.
Okay.
See, human trafficking came after I quit pimping.
Okay.
So you gotta remember, from 90 to about 2008, it was like a freelance role to pimp how you want to pimp. They was pimping like a motherfucker. New York, like 11th Avenue, man, niggas over there was japping all them niggas was mashing, man.
Yeah.
They was getting money, like real money. So I met them niggas, you know, in my search journey, but I came home and a bitch named Red, a bitch named Tangy, you know, they choose, a bitch named Tangy, and a bitch named, what's that bitch name? God damn, man, I can't remember that whole name, but oh shit. Well, anyway, Nancy and Tangy. So Nancy and Tangy chose up on me, and they was giving me a little money, and I thought I was doing something. Then I had a couple more hoes fuck with me, you know.
You said they chose up on you. I ain't never heard a man say that. That's different.
Yeah, that's what we call it in the pimp game. So then I went to New York. Mm-hmm. So when I went to New York, I had a Cadillac. So I go out there.
You drove to New York.
I drove to New York. My motherfucking my heater went out on me on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, this is an '85 Cadillac.
In wintertime, cold.
Yeah, this is a 90. So it's 5 years old, and the motherfucker went down. So we freezing like a motherfucker. Me and the hoes freezing like a motherfucker in the car. So I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna go somewhere else. I said, let's just go to New York. You know, so we went to New York.
What made you go to New York? You just said, fuck it, let's go?
One of the bras said, you know, that she wanted to hoe in New York. She just wanted to hoe in New York. So we get in New York. When we get to New York, a nigga named Jay out of Jersey peeled me from my bitch right away. He get the first bitch. He called me. Yeah, man, I got to. We stayed at the Carter Hotel on 8th. I think it's on 42nd to 8th Avenue. And he, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, yeah. So now I got a fucked up car. I got a bitch. So I told that bitch, we got to stay out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna let New York niggas run me out.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So I'm pimping like a motherfucker. This nigga named Lucky out of New York. He gets me in a car. He's a Jamaican nigga. Uh-huh. He tell me, yeah, man, you know, woo. But all the time he taking me somewhere else, had me put my bitch, but him and this niggas trying to get at my bitch. Now, you know, I'm from Milwaukee, so I'm with the grimy shit. I said, oh, I love these niggas. These niggas on the shit I'm on. So that I said, okay, well, I'm finna go home. I'm gonna get grimy too. So I come back, and that's when I started doing the crazy shit. I was there, you know, throwing payday candy bars at niggas. Hey, bitch, make it a Pimpin' King payday, ho. You know what I'm saying? Hitting them all on the ass and shit. Who's this nigga? So I'm getting all the attention. So all the bitches fucking with me now. You know what I'm saying? I went and got me a motherfucker, another Cadillac, a newer Cadillac. This was a 90 had a 90 cap, bought a 90 Cadillac, and it was 91. So I put some gold datings on that motherfucker, 100 spokes, and I'm around there, you know, I'm pimping like a motherfucker. Right. So niggas in New York, they paying attention to me now. Right. Now niggas want to be around me because they say I got the game, I got the mouthpiece, I'm spitting like a motherfucker.
New York made you sharp, right?
Yeah. No, but they made me mad.
Got you.
So I had to come back and, you know what I'm saying, and revenge myself. So it was the revenge of New York, you know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it. And then, so all the niggas started fucking with me. They started liking me. And, you know, like I was in prison, so I met a lot of niggas in New York, so I knew a little bit about New York niggas just from doing time in the feds, right? So, you know, I mean, a lot
you was in the feds?
Yeah, I was in the feds. So, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like foreign to, you know, like a lot of niggas like, oh, that's a New York nigga. They be scared, right? I was in the penitentiary with New York niggas that fuck with me, and, you know, we was an equal par. You know, niggas respected me, I respected them. So a lot of that was advantage. So, you know what I'm saying? But them niggas got to fuck with me, we got to kick it every day. They was like, this is a cool ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? Then so we started riding in Jersey together, you know what I'm saying? I came like the little default leader of the game, if you want to call it the pimp game. So all niggas was following me. I had the biggest jury, you know, the biggest shit.
And that's the 90s.
Yeah, this all documented. You go look at the pictures. A nigga in New York can tell you I was a boss, you know what I'm saying? And so them niggas respected the fuck out of me because, you know what I'm saying, I was solid. You know what I'm saying? I was solid, you know, no, I followed whatever rules they put down, that was what I did. You know, so that's how I got back into New York. But then that New York shit took me all around the world. So I started going to Vegas and Phoenix and all these other places. And you know what I mean? You know, because it's old Jay-Z said, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
That's a fact.
So the fact that I had respect in New York, I knew that these other towns was going to be easy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so when I'm going to take it back a little bit before that. So when you locked up, right? Mm-hmm. How did you, because you were getting a lot of money in the street, moving around, and how did you get to your time?
How did I get to my time?
Yeah.
I was a Moorish American. So I joined the Moorish Science Temple. And I was the Grand Sheikh. I was the leader of that for 5 years. And so I was just really amazed with the teachings of the Honorable Noble Drew Ali that we are not Negroes, colors, blacks, or Ethiopians, that these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779, last to 1865. You know, the brothers would teach, you know, they would ask me, who are you? I said, I'm a black man. They said, who are you? They ain't no, I said, I'm a Negro. They said, you ain't no nigga. He said, okay, so Ken, if you're a black man, tell me this. He said, if a German Shepherd get deported, where would the German Shepherd go? I said to Germany. He said, where would the French people go? He said, go to France. He said, where would the Irish settlers go? I said, Ireland. He said, where would you go? I said, I don't know. He said, ain't no land called black land. And that just made me feel ignorant as fuck. I was like, man, these niggas is telling me that I'm not a black man and the dog got somewhere to go and a German shepherd and a French poodle, but I don't know where the fuck I'm going. And that just made me really just deep dive into it, you know what I'm saying? And I loved it, you know what I mean? Because it was all about positivity. And anybody who knows Noble Drew Ali, he was the one that introduced Honorable Elijah Muhammad to Islam. You know, Elijah Muhammad was Elijah Pubay. He was a Moorish American, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
The brother Marcus Garvey was partners with the Honorable Noble Drew Ali. He was the forerunner of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So me understanding that and ascertaining all this wisdom and knowledge of self, you know what I'm saying? It just gave me a whole nother perspective. Of course, you say, well, what happened to you? Why did you get out and get back to Pimpin? Because that's a long story, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You know, even to this day, you know, I represent, you know, the Honorable Noble Drew Ali Moral Science Temple, but that's why, you know, I was able to do time, because every week I would have to prepare lessons and we would be studying books, you know, like Dr. Ben Chicana, you know, The Black Man and Now, The Black Man and Now and His Family, you know, Dr. Chancellor Williams, The Destruction of the Black Civilization, Dr. Kawanza Kujufu, you know, the Conspiracy to Destroy Young Black Men, you know, James James, you know, The Stolen Legacy, you know, The Broden Files, you know, all that was what we was studying back then. So we would have like how the 5% say they have a you know what they call it, a building. They building was the same thing, you know. So we would just build, and so it made my time go so fast. But the knowledge and the wisdom that I got, you know, from reading so many books and, you know, and understanding history and studying Malcolm and reading Malcolm X's book about Alice Haley, you know, the autobiography of Malcolm X, and reading, you know, so many books, man, over the years, you know, and it just made my time fly by, you know. But a lot of that information that I ascertained in that era, it allows me to be who I am now as the leader and the founder of the hip hop fraternity, you know, because of my teachings that I got from the Moral Science Temple. You know, I learned how to organize and how to be a leader and how to, you know, give people inspiration and motivation and how to drop excuses and pick up purposes in life. So that was one of the things that, you know, I can say prison did for me. It kind of helped me to become a better man and to become more knowledgeable of self.
Yeah, no, I get it. I never did nowhere near as much time, but reading got me through the time, and you tap more into yourself and your faith, so I completely understand. Okay, so fast forward. You said you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So now you're in your 20s, 30s, right? You're in New York, you're moving around, right? And you said HBO reached out. That was like your first,
no, that ain't how it happened. So I'm pimping all over the country, right? Okay. I'm this big time pimp, but I don't know.
How does that go when you like a big time pimp? Because you
don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. You just breaking bitches. I don't know I'm a big time pimp. Okay. Right? I don't, what y'all see today, Pimpin' Ken, I didn't know I was Pimpin' Ken as people look at me today. You know what I'm saying? I never looked at it like that. I just looked at it like a nigga getting money. You know, like, hey, y'all hoes, come on, let's get it. We're going to New York, bitch. We got to get this motherfucking money, bitch. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bitch, I'm trying to slow the police sweating. Let's go to Cali, right? Hey, bitch, let's get a fight. Let's go. You know, but I'm really hustling and getting money because, you know what I'm saying, I'm really serious about it. You know, like I used to rob banks, you know what I mean? I used to be a gangster, so I treat the hoes like I used to treat myself. Like, bitch, you gonna be down like I was down, bitch. I took penitentiary. Yeah. I was gonna go to prison. Oh, you gonna be really do whatever.
Like we all riding out.
Yeah, bitch, you gonna be down for Ken, bitch. I'm down, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I used to really get at them hoes. Like, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, I rob a nigga, bitch, I kill, I do whatever, bitch. So you gonna do whatever for this pimping, you know what I mean? So I put my hustle in the bitches, you know what I'm saying? The way I was hustling and the way I chased money, I had them hoes chasing money for me. So we would go from city to city to get money, right? Mm-hmm. Then we had a introduction. So I'm buying like $4,000 for shoes at this place called Mr. K's in Chicago, all Gators, right? And you know, that ain't no money to me. At this time, you know, bitches get $1,000 a day, you got 10, 15 bitches, that ain't no money, right? That's like peanuts. It's a lot of money to a working motherfucker, but it wasn't no money to some pimping. So I'm getting these shoes, and this nigga like, man, you said just $4,000 worth of shoes? I said, yeah. Then the other nigga walked up and said, yeah, what's up, man? This Reverend Simo. You know, I got a players ball. Bishop 9-1, Ice-T, all of them gonna be there. Ice-T? Yeah, I never been to it. He was there. It's on Pimps Up, Hold Down, it's in the movie. Okay. So I'm like, I ain't never been to players ball. So I'm like, all right, man, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? How much the ticket? Said 500. I reached in my pocket, gave nigga 500 right there.
Where was the ball at?
It was in Chicago at Brothers Lounge. So when I went there, I got a black and white mink on. You know what I'm saying? I got buku jewelry. You know, I got my Lexus and my Benz outside. The holes in the Benz, I'm in the Lexus, right? And I'm popping shit. Hold blow a barbecue movie, let your next movie be your best move. Hey man, you know what I mean? I'm just popping. I think I'm around some pimping because that's what we do on the track. So I'm popping at everybody. I know everybody in there wasn't pimps and somebody else was doing other shit, but I'm just popping because I think I'm in a pimp environment. So I'm only thinking pimping, right? I ain't thinking nothing else. But I didn't know that everybody wasn't in there pimping. Everybody was amazed at how I was talking. So that they was tripping. So they was like, man, come back next year. So I went back the next year. And I seen cameras and shit. You know, I'm a street nigga. So I'm like, camera on my face. What the fuck is you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? You gonna pay me? You know what I mean? I'm coming at them like that. And they said, that's HBO. So the dude named Ben Owens, I pulled him to the side. I said, say, man, look here, man. I said, man, it's a lot of pimping going on around here. We on 79th Street. You know, we're at a different place. So I said, but man, you need to come to Milwaukee, man. Let me show you some real pimping. You know, it's a whole bunch of us up there, man. You know, niggas that really matching for their ration. I said, some stoned down, hope to that pips, right? So he said, cool. He said he came there at a clothing store downtown, you know, probably about 20,000 square foot, you know what I'm saying? All kind of clothes. You know, I had real estate and all that shit back then. I was getting so much money, I was just throwing money at whatever that stick, you know what I mean? So they said, they was amazed. They said, man, damn, you doing it like this?
You ain't feel hot? Like, you ain't feel like this gonna blow, like?
Nah, because, you know, you gotta remember, man, you know, I'm a businessman too. You know what I'm saying? So my shit grow organically, you know what I mean? You buy one house, right, you flip it, you double the money, you buy 2 houses, you flip it, you buy 4 houses. Take some of that money you invested in, you know, the clothing, the garment district, you know, you pay your taxes, that type of shit.
When I said hot, like, I mean HBO, like watching you.
No, I didn't know they was HBO until I met them.
Okay.
So when I brought them to Milwaukee, we did the movie Pimps Up Hoes Down. So I told them to give me 6 figures. They gave me 6 figures. They made me, I told them I got to be the star of the movie, and the movie got to end with me. If you watch the movie, everything I'm telling you was in the contract, and they got to give me credits. They even gave me credits. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I read so many books in prison that I understood a little bit about business and how shit runs. So the prison kind of helped me out. You know, studying and being industrious and studious in the prison kind of made it easier for me to make that deal, which was better than Bishop and all the niggas together. I got more money than all them niggas. Okay. So that was the inception of the businessman Pimpin' Ken that y'all see today. So you understand me? So the movie come on, my name in the credits, the movie end with me, you know, I'm the main character of the movie along with Bishop Don Juan. So you gotta take all that into consideration. So now I'm hot, as you were saying. So my daddy watched it with me. He said, boy, you're a damn fool. He said, you just gave all your business up. He said, that was the worst move you'd make. So at that point, I decided to quit pimping because I said, first I'm on top, you know what I'm saying? I got everything nigga can imagine, you know, coming out of Milwaukee, especially the hood. You know what I'm saying? Me, you know, woo to woo to woo. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm a great businessman, so I just quit. And then I quit, but you know, bitches kept coming. You know, I couldn't get rid of the bitches. I got rid of the pimp game, the life, but bitches just kept coming, giving me money and shit. You know what I mean? They just wanted to fuck with me. So I had to get rid of that aspect too. So once I was able to get rid of all of that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I was gonna go full-fledged in the business. I started opening up daycares. You know, in Milwaukee, that was a big thing back in the 90s, early 2000s. You know, so I was making like $1 million and some change a year. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I had big old houses. I had like, you know, houses, you know, with like 5 bedrooms, swimming pools, and basketball courts. And, you know, I used to have all the celebrities come. It's all on my movie called The Best of Before. You can see all that shit. I'm not capping. It's even on, go type in Pimpin' Ken house. You'll see it on YouTube. So I got the big house, you know, the biggest house on the block. The white people's jealous of me. They're looking at me like I'm crazy. You know, we from Milwaukee. Niggas not supposed to have nothing. Everybody's supposed to be locked, sealed, and boxed in a permanent poverty type situation. So, but I'm a nigga that's having money like I play for the NBA, but I wasn't playing for the NBA, I was playing for the NPA, the National Pimp Association.
Yeah.
You know
I heard you.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? I was the 2, 3 of the P, Mac or Jordan.
Yeah.
They couldn't really take it, so that's how I ended up just going into business. I went from that to the entertainment. working with all that for the entertainment to now what you see, the hip hop fraternity.
Okay, so now I'm gonna take it back a little. Now, where I'm from, there was a lot of pimps, so I understand the pimp culture, but somebody might be watching this to say, you're not a pimp, you're a sex trafficker, or you're like a manipulator or a narcissist, right?
Right.
So let's take a step back. Where does the psychology of being a pimp come from?
Well, see, people should love me like they love Malcolm, because Malcolm used to be a pimp. He changed his life. I changed my life.
They don't promote that.
But what I'm saying is it's a fact.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when you see somebody raising young people up and doing what we're doing at the hip hop fraternity, building black unity, building Morris unity, and organizing brothers and taking people off the streets. On Monday night, that's the most peaceful night in America, because I got all the young people coming to my facilities for free. They eat for free. They perform for free. All this coming out of my pocket to the tune of millions of dollars. If I was charging, I'd be making millions. But I don't charge nobody anything. All I require is them to give me their data. I done made 9 movies. You know what I'm saying? I done wrote 2 books. Boosie is signed to me, literally. You know what I'm saying? Ice-T is signed to me. They don't talk about the positive. They just focus on the negative because they shallow-minded. You know what I'm saying? They don't have real intelligence. A real intelligent person would do an intelligent assessment, what they call analysis. You know what I'm saying? So they don't do numbers, they don't do assessments or analysis, so they just put you in a box and they say, oh, he's a pimp, he's a human trafficker, but they don't remember we're talking about 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Everybody did something negative 30 years ago, so a person maturing and pivoting and going into the business world, and I just had somebody, put a substantial amount of money in my company, a media, investor, straight to our Chase account. You know what I'm saying? So we doing things like that. Ice-T just came on board for $2 million, as a part of the hip hop fraternity. Twister called me the other day. He wanted to invest $150,000 in HHF. Nobody talking about the positivity, but they looking at the human traffic. It have to be a hoe or a bitch or something that I'm doing. But if I'm doing all this positivity, you should be telling your kids to look at me as an example. Listen, look at him. He went out there. He was in the streets. He been shot 5 times. He been in prison for 10 years. He did 10 years in prison. He was in the streets with the hoes. He sold dope. He been on blocks and shit, selling drugs and all that type of shit. Now he's, he just sent King Moore, which is one of the youngest members of hip hop, I sent him to the White House. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Calsaberry Hernandez, she's the national security for Kamala Harris, but she's also my national ambassador for Hip Hop International. Hip Hop, you see what I'm saying? Mr. Ryan Graham, you know what I'm saying? He's a cryptologist, blockchain specialist. He's the director of cryptocurrency for my organization. James C.B. Gray, he's a sitting politician in Harlem, in the Harlem district. You know what I'm saying? He's my CEO. You see what I'm saying? Miss Pixie Paulo, she's a white woman. She did the Boosie juice with me. She got a distillery. She do liquor deals. She's my financial advisor. You know what I'm saying? Felicia, you know what I'm saying? All more degrees in thermometer. She's on my board as well. She's my CFO. Then my CEO for HHF Media is Miss Kentrice Dungala. Miss Kentrice Dungala, she has did mergers and acquisitions to the tune of 28 billion. She raised them from 28 billion to 33 billion. And these are the people that's in my ecosystem, my orbit. You know what I mean? Okay. I got investors coming in, Floyd Mayweather, he's doing business with us. My man Ice-T just did the commercial for the jackets. Breakfast Club, Charlamagne, he did him and Envy did a commercial for my apparel, my HHF jacket. So these are the things that people are missing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need to focus on. Not the negativity, but the positivity and the impact that I'm having on every young man that ever pimped in his life. Who was his hero, his idol? Pimpin' Ken. What is Pimpin' Ken doing? Pimpin' Ken showing them better ways and brighter days. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving them, a template, a proof of concept that you can go from the ghetto streets to the next street, from the ghetto blocks to the Wall Street style, from the sewer to the entrepreneur. Because I was in the sewer. You know what I mean? And now, I'm dealing with the White House. I'm dealing with all type of corporations. Boosie, I signed him to Simon & Schuster. You know what? That's 600 American Avenue. That's in your hometown.
Yeah, that's a book
CBS,
publishing company,
owned
right?
by CBS.
Yeah.
I signed him to Simon Schuster. I signed 2 of my books. I signed IT. I signed Corey Wise from Central Park 5. Corey Wise also was signed to me. So, you know, the kind of shit that I'm doing, niggas can dream about it. You know what I'm saying? So they looking at, that's all they can see is the human trafficking from 30 years ago. I did 30 years ago. They missed the whole picture.
You know the era we in. See what's going on with the brothers.
That's why I'm giving them the game. Let them know, like, look, man, y'all looking at the wrong shit. Don't let 5 seconds of fame or clickbait, you know, be the determination of an intelligent decision.
Now, I never see nobody talk negative, but I know that if you talk to a woman today, right, and they hear Pimping Ken, when they hear pimp, they get triggered. You know what I'm saying? They just look at it like,
because they don't understand what the word pimping means. You know, pimping used to mean handsome and debonair. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
It didn't get negative until we did Superfly, till we did, you know, Dynamite and the Mac. Now all of a sudden, you know, pimp is a negative terminology. But they don't tell you about Dennis Huff from the Bunny Ranch. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got, what's that dude name that died?
Hugh Hefner?
Hugh Hefner. See, they get a positive perception, but the black man get a negative perception.
That's true.
That was given from them. But you know what I'm saying? The word, if you go back and look at the dictionary, look up the word pimping, its origins, it meant handsome and debonair. You know what I'm saying? But the minute Dynamite and Superfly and the Mac and all of them started talking about pimping, you know what I'm saying? Now it's black exploitation. Now they give it to a negative connotation, but it was a negative connotation previously.
Yeah, I never heard nobody say nothing bad about Hugh Hefner at all. Like,
yeah, but he had all the hoes.
Yeah.
He had way more hoes than me.
Yeah. Shit. Would you ever trying to get on that type of time? I know you got your own flavor, your own swag. Would you ever trying to like emulate that in your way?
In the pimp game, we don't look at that as pimping. We look at them as some suckers. He to be a sucker in the pimp game.
Really? Why?
Because he on some sucker shit. He ain't getting the money from the bitches. He just providing the bitches. You know, a bitch fucking me, she got to give me all the money.
Yeah.
So you got to break yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What was your relationship with women growing up? Like you have any sisters?
Yeah.
What was your relationship with your sisters, your mother, cousins, auntie?
Well, my relationship, you know, with my family was beautiful. But when I was about 3 years old, my mother used to have this young lady babysitter. That's her name. I forget her name, but she's a black, ugly ass bitch. So she molested me, right?
Oh, wow.
So she molested me, sucked my penis, and did all kind of stuff.
At 3 years old?
I was a kid, man, yeah, and I never forgot that shit. So then when I went to prison, when my brother went to prison, my mom would come see him all the time. But when I went to prison, she never came to see me because she was so tired of seeing my brother in prison that she didn't want to go through it no more. But she didn't know what it was doing to me. It made me have a disdain for women, you know, for her and the bitch that raped me. All that shit gave me desensitized. Like I went to the doctor, had a triple bypass, had all the sympathy move out my heart. So when you got men that go through that type of trauma, and if you question a lot of pimps, you'll find out there was something they like. Because, you know, a typical average man is not going to send no woman out there to sell no pussy. Because he's going to be like, nah, I want this to myself. This is my pussy. Yeah. I'm not giving you, no.
Right.
Kid can't buy no pussy from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to all this shit to myself. But when a nigga been through some shit and, you know, he understand, you know, how the game work, then, you know what I'm saying, he kind of like desensitized. You know what I'm saying? So he don't give a fuck. You know, bitch just going to get my money. But if you got a conscience, you don't think, damn, this bitch can get raped, she can get killed, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she can get a disease, you know, that's the conscious aspect of it. But when you grow up the way I grew up, you know, you don't have no conscience. Then I had my girlfriend when I was 12. She ended up messing with an older guy, he was about 30. I walk in the house, he fucking the shit out of the bitch. I'm 12 years old. So all this shit made it easier for me to pimp like a mad Russian, you know, with no passion.
You walked into that? What'd you do?
I mean, it was nothing I could do. First of all, he older nigga, so I'm thinking he'd beat my ass for say something. So I hurried up, turned around, and got the fuck up out there. Like, shit, I ain't finna get my ass whooped. This stupid ass bitch. You
Damn, at 12? She was 12 too?
Yep.
Ah, man.
That's how it is in the hood, man. 12-year-old hoes, 12-year-old, I ain't gonna say hoes. Yeah. My language. 12-year-old women, you know, they're 12, they doing everything, you know, at 12. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, the hood is terrible, man. We need to do something about it.
So do you think every female that joins the pimp lifestyle, something happened to them or something traumatic happened to them? You don't think, what if they just want to hustle, like, I'm going to just get it how I get it?
No, I said that it pimps up hoes. Now, average women that I talked to, they was molested by their uncle. See, one thing you got to understand is the pussy everybody like pussy because everybody came from a pussy. You know what I'm saying? And pussy is powerful, right? So once a woman understands the value of her pussy, she weaponizes her pussy. Now, it may start off with an uncle raping her or molesting her, right? But after a while, you know, everybody in the hood, you know, every man in the hood, you know, she gets a little promiscuous. You know, they try to come at her. Hey, I gave you a hot dog. I'll give you $20. I'll give you that. She find the value of her coochie. Now, what happens is a guy like myself, that's, you know, from the other side, I see her, I say, look, you having sex with all these people, why don't you go and get you some money, some real money? And that's what the pimp usually do. He usually spot the person, you know, that probably didn't say, fuck it, I ain't gonna never have a virgin marriage, I ain't gonna never, you know, a man that I love gonna break my virginity. I'm damaged good. That's how she see it in her head. And she realized the value of her coochie. So she started, you know, because everybody, why would this old man take a chance of having sex with me and going to jail? I must be something valuable. You know, the coochie must be powerful. And that's when they learn, and then they start utilizing that. You know, how many women that you said, hey, what's up, mommy? What's up with you? She said, yeah, she wants you to take her to McDonald's or take her somewhere and get her something to eat, or she want a movie, or she want an outfit or something. You know, that's probably somebody that's been affected at an early age and understand the value of their coochie. Now, what I tell men, you know, and square men in relationships, you know, when I'm mentoring them, I say, man, first of all, like my man Goldie said, take the coochie off the pedestal. Take the coochie off the pedestal. If you deal with a woman, you deal with her eye to eye, man to man, apple to apple, oranges to oranges. What value does she really have? As Goldie like to say, she has no value. The reason why she has no value because if you take her out to eat, the first thing she do, she try to pay you a pussy. If you take her to the movie, she try to pay you a pussy. You know what I'm saying? If you buy some clothes at the mall, she try to pay you a pussy.
They think that's enough.
Yeah. But when you take that off the pedestal and a woman got to deal with you like you and your brother, me and you dealing with each other, it changed the dynamic of the relationship, and that's how you get the best retention out of a woman. Is by putting her in a category where her pussy has no value, and then you can really see the value of the woman and who you really dealing with, because now she's coming with pure intelligence, pure wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You coming with pure intelligence, pure wisdom. So y'all dealing with each other on equal footing, on equally yoked. And that's, you know, one of the things that I think that is the problem, you know, from the molestation, the girls getting molested, to now, you know what I'm saying, is that the pussy is in the equation. You know?
I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, the pussy is always in the equation, you know. Man, you know, niggas, man, they see a bitch, a bad bitch. It's like, damn, that bitch got a bad ass. Hey, mommy, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You want me to pay for the drink? You know what I mean? Nigga automatically, you know, he turned into trick mode.
Yeah.
They don't even know it, you understand? Because that pussy is so powerful. But if you see it, say, hey, mommy, look here, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever read the book, Chancellor Williams? Have you ever read the Broder Files? No. Why don't you look it up, Google it? I think that's a good book. And then here's my number. Call me and I'll tell you. We can discuss what, you know. Now,
that was your pitch? Or that's what you're just saying rhetorically? Okay.
This is the first time I ever said this.
Got
I'm just telling you that if a nigga came from a different perspective, imagine how many hoes you would have. Imagine how much respect you would have in the relationship pool. You know what I'm saying? More women respect you because they're like, he didn't come at me talking about some, damn, mommy, you know, you look good, you fine, you know. They hear that shit all the time. Yeah. And that's what makes the pussy so powerful, and that's why they weaponize the pussy. Give you a better example, right? You gonna like this. What's the number one cause of marriage?
Money.
No, the number one cause of divorce.
Well, money, right?
No, the number one cause of divorce is marriage.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But what is the main problem in marriage? Sex, right? Right?
You don't think it's finances?
No, it's sex. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker go and say we get some money. Okay, we're gonna use money, right? You got $10,000 in the bank. Your wife wanna spend $1,000. No, baby, I'm trying to make this move. And so later on that night, you grab her, she turned. You want some pussy, she won't give you no pussy, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So now, you know what I'm saying, until y'all rectify whatever y'all got going on, she gonna weaponize her pussy. She ain't gonna give you no pussy. So y'all decide to go to a psychiatrist, right? Psychiatrist sit down, he say, what's the problem? Well, my wife won't give me no sex. That's your problem? I said, yeah, that's my problem, man. Every time try to touch her. She turned away every time I feel like I want to have sex. He said, you know what? That's my problem too. You know what I'm saying? So he got the same problem. You know, the bitch, his wife, the psychiatrist tell you that his wife even weaponized the pussy on him. So that's the issue. So what we have to do is we got to learn how to let our big head outweigh our little head. You know what I'm saying? You can't think with your dick. You can't be tender under the zipper. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with people from here. Yeah, you got to deal with people from here. Once you deal from here, it changes the whole relationship. Reason why, any woman I deal with, I ain't got to touch them for a year. They already turned out because I turned them out mentally. You know what I'm saying? When I do touch them, they faint because, they're like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm so mentally caught up in this man that physically, I'm good. And they can always say, man, I got a big ass dick. Okay, yeah, man, that sounds good, but do you think you really can please a woman with a big ass dick? Think about it. I mean, listen, I don't mean to be graphic, but babies come out, 8-pound babies come out the same hole. You think that you really do it. A baby this big, nigga, you understand? Make your dick this look. You understand me? So don't use the dick or the pussy as the measuring stick. Use the intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Don't think your dick is king. Don't think you king ding along. Don't think your pussy is, all that. You know what I'm saying? Deal with motherfuckers like this and watch what happens. You know what I'm saying?
I seen a movie, I forgot what movie it was, man. They was like, anybody can control a woman's body, but they can't control their mind. What movie was that?
The Mac.
Okay, yeah, it was like a guy talking to
The Mac, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Okay, so what was the emotion? You mentioned that most of the women are like, I guess you could say broken down or come from troubled homes. What was your emotion? I know you said it was ice cold, right? But like, what was the daily emotion? Because women are emotional creatures. So I know they wear that off. Like, how did you cope with? Because look, the average brother can't manage one woman. Well, how many females you had at your head?
16 women.
You had 16 women. How do you deal with 16 personalities and manage them without crashing out?
Remember I told you when I was in prison, I used to read a lot?
Yes.
So I read this theory on IQ. IQ is intellectual quotient. EQ is emotional quotient. AQ is adaptability quotient. So you got to understand that you got to be emotionally intelligent just like you are intellectually intelligent. And then you got to have great adaptability quotient too, because adaptability comes within the category of all those spectrums that we just spoke on. So you never let your EQ supersede your IQ. You never let your emotional quotient supersede your intelligent quotient. The best way to do that is to think 3 times, act once. So whenever a bitch be doing shit, I want to slap the shit. Shut the fuck up, bitch. I think about the consequences. I weigh out the situation, then I act. I never act on impulse because that's how women beat us. You know what I'm saying? Give you an example. Dude 6'8", right? He bodyguarded Magic City. They got stupid motherfucking muscles, right? His girl 5'2", right? The Eagles is playing. You know what I'm saying? We want to go watch the Eagles game. You know what I'm saying? Or the Giants. The Giants is playing. We want to watch the Giants game. We go get homie. Come on, man. Roll on down there with us because he's big, nigga. We're going to go to the game. Man, I can't go with my woman tripping. Nigga, you 6'8". Your woman 5'2". How she tripping? Well, see, emotions is what really causes that disconnection. It causes that person to be insufficient because what she does is say, where you going? Who's that in your number? You know what I'm saying? Men can't deal with that. So a woman would beat you down and she would hit you so many times with so many things, so you just get fed up. You say, man, fuck it, man, I ain't going, man. This bitch tripping. Or fuck it, man, I ain't finna be arguing with this bitch because we're not equipped. Women are more emotionally equipped because they got to do what? Raise their children. The kids cry. Who can deal with a crying baby? Who can deal with a baby that needs their diaper change? A woman does that instinctively because she's more equipped emotionally. Men are 70% stability and 30% emotion. Women are 70% emotions and 30% stability. So her emotion, the quotient is way higher than ours. Unless we develop that, just like it's got to be trained, just like anything else, you got to train your mind. And that's what I did. I trained myself to not be impulsive, to not be emotional. You know what I'm saying? Me, someone a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Me come real strong with some bullshit, like acting crazy shit, like don't want to answer her phone, then I'll answer my phone. You know, if a bitch turn her back on me, I turn my back on her too. I match her energy, I do the mirror effect. I hit the bitch with the mirror effect. I mirror what she's doing to me. Now the bitch can't understand it, because now the same tactics that she's being used is being used on her. And she can't understand that. So that was how I was able to do it. Like, a bitch would be acting up as 10 bitches around, all 10 of them hoes would be sitting at the table, and the bitch is like, I'm tired of this shit. Okay, bitch, get your motherfucking ass up out of here. You gone, you out of here. What you mean I'm gone? I'm done with you. I don't want to talk to you no more. I'm just running game though, you know what I'm saying? But the bitch, you know, she get her stuff, she leave, and you notice, you know what I'm saying? It take 5 minutes to leave. Hour later, she's still packing. I know I got the bitch. I defeated her. I broke her down. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's how I would do. I would break the bitch down, you know, by mirroring the effect of her. So now she was like, Daddy, I'm sorry. I said, okay, well, go tell all the hoes you sorry. Because I ain't the one you got to ask to, bitch. You got to ask the mother hoes, you know what I'm saying? Because you disrespected them. So I reversed the psychology. Now she tells me, hey, y'all, I'm all sorry. So now the bitches feel to lead Ken or to disrespect Ken is not a physical abuse, but it's humility. You see what I'm saying? So I'm using psychology to kind of use all of them against each other. I make them tell on each other. You know, I'm like, you know, she said that, you said that. No, I ain't say this, you know, and keep them confused and don't let them get too close. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, you know, it's manipulation, but you gotta remember, a woman is more manipulative than a man. But let me tell you why. I'm the pimp, right? She the hoe. I'm dealing with her and maybe 8 other bitches, or maybe 2 other bitches. Right. She dealing with what, 5 or 6, 10 men a day. She dealing with 10 men a day. She got way more game coming at her than I got coming through the dope. You understand me? So now she got to manipulate all these men out of these hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s. Yeah. So she's already a manipulative person. So when the bitch come in my house, I say, bitch, wash the trick up off you. What do you mean by that? Bitch, you been around with all these tricks, bitch. You in the pimp domain now. That shit ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Get that shit up off you. Don't bring that shit up here. All that manipulation and conning you been doing, it's not gonna happen tonight. And so that, you know, you gotta tell a bitch that. Otherwise she gonna come in and she didn't play it on so many niggas, she see niggas as weak. These niggas weak for the pussy. But Ken not. Ken only weak for the money. He want the money and the control. And that's how you got to do it. So that's how I was able to do it. You know what I mean? It's all about the mind game. Pimping is a mind game. You know what I'm saying? Hoes are born to destroy men. God gave a woman the same thing we gave a skunk. A white stripe in the belly full of funk. That nigga I was telling you at 6'8", that woman put so much funk in him that he can't take it no more. He bowed down. You know what I'm saying? The Bible, the woman that you gave me have deceived me. She said, eat from this forbidden fruit, eat from this, eat from that. All this shit that's in the Bible. Adam and Eve, right? Adam said, the woman that you gave me has deceived me. Adam couldn't stand the pimping. I mean, Adam got played by the bitch. I'm not Adam. I'm not falling. It's called the fall of man. I'm standing on the bitch. Bitch, I'm not going. Understand me? Bitch, you can't manipulate me. You can't run con on me. Bitch, you ain't finna have me acting like these tricks out here that you playing every day for $200-300. No. I'm the boss. And that's how I was able to control bitches.
Okay, so how do you feel today when you see females like the rappers, the Cardi B's, Megan Thee Stallions, and you see the OnlyFans chicks, and you see female has so much power. We could argue that female rappers are hotter than the male rappers. We could argue that females are making more money than the average man.
Because these niggas are feminine, right? You know, and the reason why these niggas are feminine and they cater to the bitches because the fathers ain't in the crib. You know, what happened to the fathers? You know, 1985, crack laws. You know what I'm saying? Me, 1999, crack laws. You know, go up into the later day human traffic laws. Niggas get snatched up off the street. America is 5% of the world's population, but has 25% of the world's incarceration. So here's the numbers that's going to shock you. So eligibility in terms of brothers that can go to prison ain't but 6%. So 6% out of that 40 million, right, is what's eligible to go to prison. Out of that eligibility, 50% of the prison system is housed in that category, in that demographics. 50% of the demographics is in prison. So 50% of the people that's incarcerated are African American men. 25% of the world's incarceration. 6% demographics, half of the prison population in America, but 12.5% of the prison population in the world. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That leaves a lot of women out there with no guidance. You know, a man have to be in the house. There's a reason why a man, you see that thing, you know, that's called your Adam out. Sit your ass down. When your daddy told you that, you felt that. A lion is the king of the jungle. Why? Because when he roared, the giraffes and the elephants and the motherfucking hippopotamus, all the motherfuckers get scared to death. Because of that roar. God gave us that roar to control those children. That roar, that Adam apple is not in the house. So what is happening? These bitches talking all this shit and all that, this and another. But guess what, females? Check this out. Who raising all the killers and all the drug dealers? If 85% of the black household is single parented, who's raising the killers and the drug dealers? The mothers. Yeah. So who is these niggas growing up seeing? My sons don't think shit of Cardi B and all of them because I'm their daddy. They got a male figure. They grew up, you know what I'm saying, seeing a boss. You know what I'm saying? Me. But these other niggas, they grew up, the women being the matriarch, she being the most powerful person, how she's controlling how niggas bow down to bitches because they was raised by bitches. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. I'm not calling them my bitches. I'm just being more graphic than I normally be. So you know what I'm saying? That being said, you know what I'm saying? You see what the problem is. The problem is that we need a man in the household. Because these women, these Cardi B's ain't doing us, our children, our women no justice. You know, talking about some they a hoe and they a bitch and wet ass pussy, all that shit. That shit ain't good for young women that's growing up. That's why you go out, man, you ride through the Bronx, you ride through motherfucking Harlem, you ride through all these little girls, you see them ass sticking out. You say, how old is little mommy? 14. You know what I'm saying? How old is mommy? 16. And niggas don't know because they saying they 22, 23 because a little makeup, a little Indian hair, a little motherfucking Asian hair make them little young girls look like they're 22, 23 in a hot New York minute. So that being said, you know what I'm saying? These are the problems. It's not just, you know, brothers going to jail. You know what I'm saying? It's the women, you know, that believe in this conception that I don't need a man. You do need a man. We the only nation of people that say I don't need a man, the black women. But the white women, Asian women, they be trying to build communities. What they do, they come over here, they stay over here 30 years, then you see a little Chinatown. They come over here, they stay 30 years, you see little Havana. They come over here, you see little Mexico. You see little Ghana, yeah. You know, little Dominican. Yeah. But we don't have little shit.
True.
So, yeah, the women, you know what I'm saying, they are doing all that, but they need to get a man. That's what I got to say to that shit.
Now, I feel that, so I'm going to take it back more. So, you say you're in New York, you're running around, you become a pimp of the year, right? What's next after that? Because I recall, like when did the rap game started? When did you start attracting the rap game? I know you said Ice-T was at this event, but when did you cross over? Because when I see your brand, I see hip hop by default.
Okay, so what happened was, you know, Pimp Some Hoes Down. Mm-hmm. I go to the Tyson fight. This is in '97, right? It came out in '97. So Vegas, right? I'm jeweled up, tooled up, and shit. Yeah. And everybody run up to me, want to take pictures. You got to mind you, I'm from Milwaukee, so.
And this is after the movie, right? After the movie.
So
after the movie, you basically became famous.
I'm a major celebrity. 1 billion people seen it. So everybody running up to me taking pictures. So I said, man.
You still live in Milwaukee at the time?
Yeah. So what I said, I'm gonna do something. I said, I was already filming my own movie. I said, I'm gonna put my movie out on VHS. I'm gonna sell them out the trunk, like how E40 and Master P now was doing, because that was that era. So I took my shit, I started putting in the trunk, and everybody bought it. I was selling for $100. I was selling like 5,000 motherfucking units, you know, making crazy money. Like, I had money in my car like this. You know what I'm saying? I had like rubber, like I was selling drugs. Because everybody knew me from the movie and everybody wanted to take pictures and all that. So then, you know, I said, man, I got to go where it's popping. I said, I got to go to Atlanta. At that time, Atlanta was jumping, all the music scene. And Jermaine Dupri had this song out with Jay-Z called Money in the Thing.
Yeah, that's my shit.
So that's what made me get up on Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Up on Jermaine Dupri because of Jay-Z. You know, and then me and Jay-Z did a couple parties and shit together. I hosted a couple parties and he was there. So
that was in Atlanta?
Yeah, that was in Atlanta. So
okay.
I came down here, I used to go to this club called 112. So Big Meech put me up on some game. Big Meech said, man, what I do, I just give these motherfuckers, you know, $1,200 and say drink some Big Meech, right? I didn't have $1,200 gift, so I just do $300. But he was right. He would say that and they would come and they said, picture on big meets. So that put a lot of attention on big meets. So I would do 300, and that could, you know, take them a few minutes, about 15 minutes. So I got free publicity for 15 minutes. So Jermaine Dupri and Puffy, all the niggas in there, they seeing me. I'm jeweled up, I'm tooled up, I'm Pimpin' Ken, you know, the nigga from Pimps Up, Post Down. So Jermaine Dupri ran up to me and said, say, man, I want to do a song with you. So we went to his studio, and I went in the studio, I did that song called Money Holds the Power with me, him, and Pimp C.
This like 90 what?
This in 2000.
2000, okay.
So by 2001, it went double platinum. So
what's your role in the song? What are you doing?
I was just talking shit. I said, yeah. I said, well, let me see. I said www.pimpinken.com. Then I said, yeah, man, your bitch ain't bitch. She ain't on no milk cart. She with some pimping. You know, I just said some fast shit like that. I said, you know, money, hoes, and power. You know, I can't remember it was so long ago.
And you was like an artist on that joint. They paid you like an artist.
Yeah, he paid me to get on there. So I did that. And then after I did that, Too Short came. After I did that, you know, the Young Bloods came. And then everybody just started.
It all started with Jermaine Dupri.
Started with Jermaine Dupri.
Wow.
He remember, he was the biggest thing. He had Usher, he had Mariah Carey. It wasn't no regular. It wasn't the Jermaine Dupri y'all see today. He was the hottest nigga imagine the hottest nigga in the country featuring you on his album. So everybody wanted a piece of Pimpin' Ken. You know what I'm saying? So that blew up, right? And I became legendary in that, you know, Nelly, everybody had me on their albums. You know, I made a lot of money.
You was in Pimp Juice?
Yeah. I made a lot of money, you know. I made a lot of money, you know, from all that shit. And then we went from that to, I was in Hot in Here, not Pimp Juice, Hot in Here.
Okay.
So we made yeah, we made a lot of money from that. And then me and Pimp C started a film company. So Universal gave us $3 million. They gave Pimp $1 million, me $1 million, and D $1 million.
And what year was this?
This was in 2008. So.
Oh, hey.
So yeah, so D get incarcerated for conspiracy. Pimp C died. The whole project. Only one was left was Best of Both Worlds, so I took that, I ran with that and made a bag off that. So Pimp C died. So now it's like, you know, I'm like, I built all this, building leading up to me and Pimp C doing what we doing. Now the Universal deal then canned out, you know what I'm saying? Then
I want to take a step back. How did you meet Pimp C? Because Pimp C's like a legendary figure in Texas. And I remember him from Big Pimpin'. That was like a crossover
he was a fan,
record. The same way Jay and thing.
All the niggas, you gotta remember, all the rappers, if you go and look at the scenario, they all fans of Pimpin' Ken. Because what they rapping about, I'm living, you know what I'm saying, in real time. So Pimp C was a fan. So I meet him at Sharp Turns Mall, and I'm walking, he had on some Gator, mink shoes. I was like, damn, nigga, that's some cold shoes you got on, you little homie. He said, that's a cold mink. I had a black mink on. He said, it's a cold mink you had on. And then he said, I said, what's your name? He said, Pimp C. I said, yeah, he said, I know who you is, nigga. Pimpin' Ken. That's how we met. And we ain't never left. I went to his house. We kicked it, we ride, I even had him selling DVDs out the trunk. You know what I mean? We was hustling, man. We was getting money. And then, you know what I'm saying, we had a good investor. So, I brought him like $300,000-$400,000 to the table, some investors.
And this is Big Pimpin' Pimp C.
No, this is after Big Pimpin'.
Got you.
He's bigger now he's bigger.
Got you.
Yeah, so then we did the Player Answers video, you know what I'm saying, with Outkast.
Oh yeah, that's like
that's me in there. So all the videos you started seeing me in there.
Okay.
And then when Pimp died, you know what I mean, we was gonna do something like the hip hop fraternity, but it was gonna be like a coalition or something. So that's, but then when I went to Ice-T said, man, I had the rap syndicate, this is how we did it. So Ice-T is my national advisor, and he's also an investor in the company.
Wow, that's I didn't know all that. You put me on a lot of game because, like I said, I always seen you, but I didn't know how. But I just seen you. You know what I'm saying? I know who you was vividly, so it all makes sense. Wow.
Yeah, we was major. I'm even stronger now because since then I've been on Breakfast Club, Dream Chess. I've been on 100 podcasts, including yours.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Building that hip hop fraternity brand. And then integrated it. But see, one of the reasons why I built Hip Hop Fraternity brand is because we got new technology, coming out with the young man Daryl Pratt out of Philly. Then we got my man Ryan Graham and Reality Lester out of Miami. So we combining AI with Web3 with blockchain, cryptology, and the app. So, you know what I'm saying? What we're doing, we're creating a system where artists can put their music on our platform through our distribution channels, and we'll be able to get an artist $1 versus the little money they're getting on streaming. Because what happened was the record label formed Napster, and they made everybody think that it was being attacked by these people online. They said that, you know, a lot of music was being copyrighted online illegally, and so we need to do something about it. So the answer was Pandora, Spotify, and Apple Music. But that was really the death of the artist. Remember when we was young, you know, if Ja Rule did a song, he sold 20 million records. He made millions instantly. Same thing with Jay-Z. Now you can sell 1 billion streams and get what?
Pennies out of the dollar.
$40,000.
Yeah.
So they robbed the artists, and they tricked the artists into thinking that streaming was out. So now niggas be like, I got 1 billion streams, but they ain't got $1 million. So we're going to take that, we're building a technology that's connected with 3 different ways that I don't want to really say, because these niggas be stealing shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to build it, and when we build it, you know what I'm saying? They could put their shit on our platform, on our app, and the artist will be able to create a relationship, and then the consumer, you know, the fan will be able to help the artist out. So by shopping on our platform, it would be giving the artists more profitability and giving them more leverage in the game. And that way you can start seeing money coming back to the hip hop world. That's why we formed the hip hop fraternity. So we have our own magazine. We have our hip hop fraternity radio. We have my own clothing. Them jackets, HHF apparel, sweatsuits, and all that. I have my own social media site that's going to be connected to the app. The only way you're going to be able to get on there, purchase music is through the app. We have our own award show. So we have HHF Awards. This is our 5th year. It's in Atlanta. You know, it's like the BET Awards. We're forming a pack right now in a private equity firm. You know, we want to do a merger and acquisition. We want to purchase the name BET. You know what I'm saying? And we wanted to make it the BET/HHF Awards.
How many people on this organization?
Well, we have right now, if you go on the website, we have 23,000.
Okay, wow, congratulations.
You know what I'm saying? But probably worldwide, you know, undocumented, probably about 40, 50,000 people have been to our portals.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We have, you know, they go to hhfmedia.com, type in the word board. They can read all the bios of all the people that's on our board. So we got some highly intelligent people, you know, as well accomplished on the board. And like I said, I'm just pretty much the guy that set it up and kind of became a ghost. You know, I kind of fade away. I don't really want the accolades for that type of, you know, situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to lay back and let them run it, let the young people run it. Because the problem with a lot of our organizations is the elders, right? They be leaders for 50 years, and the same leader.
Yeah,
so
Jerry Jones.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You go look at all of them. You know what I'm saying? They all want to be in the forefront forever. I'm opposite. I'm like building and put the young people out front and then fade away.
Yeah, I see you collab a lot with the brother Game God Goldie.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Because like I watch his content and I see y'all collab. I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I see what y'all doing.
Well, Goldie is like a son to me. You know what I'm saying? Him and my son, they be doing a lot of podcasts together. And he was a young man that I felt that understood the game. You know, the lifestyle that I came from. And I think he brought a different twist to it. You know, he's the player, he's not the pimp. You know what I'm saying? And I liked that conception. And he's also he's a guru, you know, in terms of relationships and other things. So he's very knowledgeable in the male-female relations. So I think that's one of the good things about Goldie. So what I did, my job was to take him over on Nick Cannon's show, take him on the Willie D show, take him on these major platforms and give him more exposure to expose who he is, you know, but he's already his own man. And like, you know, he really spewing, you know, my words, he's spewing his own game. But he'll tell you in a minute, when he says something that I say, he'll say, I got this from my Uncle Pimpin. So there are some things that I gave him, some things that he gave me, but I really wanted to take him and just put him on a national level, you know, and make him a part of my ecosystem.
That was a great partnership because he's like more, like he came up more on social media and you like...
From the streets.
Yeah, you're like from a grassroots, authentic era, and that was a great combination. That was a good like power move.
Yeah, because you know, Goldie, he meet very few niggas that have money like me. You know what I'm saying? You know, like all the shit he got, I got. You know what I mean? You know, me and him actually got some of the same cars. You know, we was laughing about that when we was, because we be taking Ubers a lot, you know, even though we got nice cars, you know, we take Uber, we laughing and shit. And so, you know, and he know that, you know, that I get money, you know what I'm saying? He get money, and, you know, most old niggas don't get money. You know what I'm saying? They talk about how they used to get money. You know, but to be the nigga at 2025 that's really doing it is really a boss, and you know, really like a lot of niggas, you know, they be talking about they got all these niggas. I really have all these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not negative, so it would never be used in a negative fashion. But if I was negative, all these niggas that be talking about, I got niggas that do this, I got niggas that would do whatever too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't exploit that, and I think that's what Goldie liked, is that, you know, man, this dude is powerful, but he don't even act like it. You know, you see me walk around there get donations and shit. You know what I'm saying? I throw a nigga off in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm from that, right? You know, I want a nigga to, I want one nigga to fuck with me because, you know, what he think I got. I want a nigga to fuck with me because he think I'm real. You know what I'm saying? See, I might, you know, be a millionaire, but I'm more so a millionaire than I'm a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So I keep it real with niggas. You know what I'm saying? I let niggas around me, man, that the average nigga be scared. They think he gonna rob them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't be worried about them niggas and shit. I like, nigga, you gonna kill me once, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you know, I ain't worried about you. You better be about your life though, but you know, I wanna give a nigga a chance that average nigga won't give him a chance. So, you know, even niggas like Goldie, average old nigga be intimidated by him. They think, oh, this nigga gonna steal my shine. I'm opposite. I want to give nigga all the shine I can give. You know what I'm saying, nigga? Let's go. You ready to go to Breakfast Club? What you want to do, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Be super duper, so I can say you my friend. I want all my friends to be well connected. All my friends literally are millionaires. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of millionaire friends. You know, some of them even invested in hip hop fraternity. But they said, man, the reason why we invested is because you never asked us for a dime. You know. You always, I could call you, talk to you about my wife problem. I could talk to you about my business problem. You know, my company losing. You know, what do you think I should do? You know, do you have a solution for my problem? And you know, it was always like that. So that's, I think, the gist of me and Goldie relationship. He haven't met an older nigga like me that don't, you know, just want what he got or can't bring value to his relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because I bring value to him as he brings value to me, because he gave me a whole bunch of young people that wasn't paying attention to me. Now they watching me. You know, he got millions of people that's watching him. It's like every time somebody say the same thing. They say, I see you with your man Goldie. You know, they might have not known me had it not been for Goldie. I'm talking about the new generation, the one who's talking about the social media people. Right. So a lot of people that know Goldie, they done came to me, gave me $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for mentorship. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that I did a good job with Goldie. So Goldie helped me out in a lot of ways. You know, one guy, I ain't gonna say his name, he just gave me $10,000 like 2 weeks ago to help him, you know, get out there, you know, to give him exposure in certain fields of, you know, media. You know, so Goldie was a great man. He was a great relationship man, and he's still great. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna probably go see him after I get back from Milwaukee. You know, because I told you I had the event this weekend. That's why I stopped everything. But I stopped this. I was for the lead today, but I can't. I stayed for you. So
appreciate that, my bro.
If you got another donation for the organization, that'd be fine.
Come on, man. I already knew. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so
don't forget this. We're gonna show them this too.
Yeah. Show them.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the new technology that we have. If y'all see the light come on, these are VIP passes. So if you got a VIP show and you want to just let special people in there, if you hit the button, it goes off. You hit the button, it comes back on. So it's a technology that my HH Hip Hop Fraternity is working with. And here's one for all you artists. Y'all gonna really love this. Me and my man, the Playmaker, you know what I'm saying, we putting this out. So this here is, you hit that button. Excuse me.
I got you.
You hit this button right here, and it play the music, and the light come on. So, you know what I'm saying? That go back to what I was telling you, us working with technology and working with the blockchain, creating a new system for the music. We also gonna have things like this that's gonna be revolutionary, that's gonna be different from what you traditionally have. So if you go to Southwest by Southwest, Earn Your Leisure, you take this, you give it to one of the music executives, it's gonna be more impressive, it's gonna make them remember you. and this is how you going. You know, you're at a club or something like that. You and your boys, you know, y'all got VIP. You know, you got the light on. Everybody's paying attention, and they reading your label. And we can put the QR code where they can actually, you know, QR code goes straight to your website. So it's a lot of technological things. You know, I'm an old tech guy, you know what I mean? I'm 61, but I love tech shit, you know what I mean? I love all the new game, you know what I mean? So I get with all the young people and I work with them.
Okay, before I let you go, I just got a few more questions. So you translated what was the mindset to translate the hustle from pimping to business and maneuvering through the music industry and business period?
Remember I told you when Pimp Stuff Holds Down came out?
Right.
And they asked me to come to Milwaukee. After Milwaukee, I had a clothing store and real estate. I've been doing it the whole time. That's how I come up. You know what I'm saying? We come up. Even when I was in prison, I had houses that, you know, that helped me get through my business. That's how I paid. You know, that's how I bought my commissary. You know, through a rental property.
He was always a businessman.
So my granddaddy is Nelson Ivy. He owned 180 acres in Mississippi.
Oh wow!
Right. So we have the biggest in Mississippi. If you got more than 40 acres, you're a city. So we had our own city, the Ivy City.
And what time frame is this? Like
this was back, you know, like I'm 61, so my granddaddy he'd be 100 and something now. So we talking about in the early 50s, 60. You know what I'm saying? So then my father, their land and my uncles, their land was transferred over to them, right? And then, you know, my daddy, he had bars and businesses. All my uncles had businesses, you know. They were Mississippi niggas, because Mississippi is segregated. So you can't have integration. It wasn't like they was able to be with the white people. It was like blacks only, whites only. So they had to create their own environment. So a lot of those skills and those business skills that they had, they brought them over to North. It's called the Great Migration. You know, when Ford and GM.
Yeah, they all moved to Chicago and
Detroit, New York.
Yeah, Detroit and New York.
So, yeah. Like Frank Lucas, he was from North Carolina. He was a country boy. That's why he knew to go get the drugs from the Chinese, because that's how they do it, you know, in the South. You know what I'm saying? You had to go to the source. So, you know what I'm saying? That being said, now I own, and my brothers and family, we own 80 acres of that land still now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's been.
You come from a lineage of
business.
Family wealth and entrepreneurship. Okay, I didn't know that. See, that probably was in you before you was even born.
Yeah, so
Eugene.
the hustle you see in me is just my desire to be a hustler. You know, it wasn't because I had to hustle. You know what I mean? I grew up with my mother and father my whole entire life. I'm not one of those kids who didn't have his father in his life. It's just that, you know, my daddy that was hustlers, and, you know, it was just, you know, it's the environment that I grew up that made me want to be who I wanted to be Pimp of the Year. You know, I wanted to be the top hustler.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like I had to be or I hustled to be. I was born in this shit. You know, that's why I do so much better than most people, because they just was in it because, you know, they was trying to change their life, or they was doing it because they was trying to get a girl. None of that shit. With a girl or with my life, I would still been a hustler.
Wow, dope, man. Listen, man. Shout out to you, my brother. I appreciate you for coming, giving game, schooling my audience. My audience gonna love you, man.
Every podcast I go on, they take me out to eat. You gonna take me out to eat? Hey,
what you want?
You something cheap, you know, like some steak. That's cheap. I want the restaurant. You ain't got to buy the restaurant. Now let's go to this place called MCK. You'll love that.
MCK?
It's cheap, yeah. It's New York niggas own it. You'll like that.
You ever heard it?
I was there on Sunday.
He already know.
Around the corner from my spot.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Okay.
I live in Buckhead, so
Okay, yeah. That's my people's over here. He makes sure I'm good. So, all right, so listen, man. We're going to lock in. We spoke off camera, you know what I'm saying, about the other situation. We're going to expose it. We're going to work on that. And
yeah.
like I said, I really appreciate your story, because like I said, I like documentaries. I like movies. I'm like a nerd when it comes to that. Like, I listen to interviews. I like You got a legendary story, you know what I'm saying? And I used to be out in Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying? I used to hustle out there, you know what I'm saying? I'm not proud to say it, but I did what I had to do. And I'm like, I like it here. Because, you know, when we think about Milwaukee, we think about
you look young. How are you?
32.
Hell yeah, you hustling in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
What you doing out there?
I was getting money. If you know, you know. Check my rap sheet. I was sharing my shit when I got locked up. If you know, you know. I was getting a lot of money. So I got locked up Ozaki, and I had a warrant. Shit crazy. They was not playing with me.
Where you going? To Green Bay or Calvin?
Now Ozaki, that's like
you didn't make it to the pit since you got in and out.
Nah, yeah, I caught the case, and the case shook me up because the way they was dealing with me, I said, nah, I can only imagine your era. Like Ozaki, they was offering me time for some petty shit, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't. I said, but anyway, I do have to say, I was in Milwaukee a lot. Like people don't know that. I could talk about it because it's documented, but I was in Milwaukee, and I'm like, yo, I never had so much fun. I would be out there like months and weeks. Yo, bro, I was living like a king out there. It was mind-boggling how much fun I had downtown. Ladies, beautiful women, good food.
Yeah.
Good food. It's an underrated city. So I do have to say, you got a legendary story, and I can see the Milwaukee flavor mixed with Chicago. I see it. I was very interested because I'm from New York. So I like to hear about different cities. I'm not a closed-minded brother, like especially the Midwest, because the Midwest is like an anomaly.
Hey, it's amazing. It's just the pride, Fortunately, I knew to move to Atlanta to build something big, So now I have a $100 million company. But had I not moved here, those opportunities wouldn't have been prevalent. But I was able to, take some of the wisdom and knowledge, understanding I had, and take it down there to the brothers down in Milwaukee, and we started a chapter. So a lot of those brothers is learning about, business as we go.
No, and before I let you go, I met people from Milwaukee, and they always like, I'm like, yo, we in Milwaukee. They be like, yeah. What you doing out there, pimping? I'm like, oh, this is really a culture. Like, that's the vibe I get in the Midwest. It's like, I don't know.
Because the biggest pimp you ever heard of come from there, Pimpin Ken. And Iceberg Slim, you know that, did you?
Oh, I thought he's from Chicago.
Yeah, but he's saying, I'm from Chicago. He lived in Milwaukee too. So, it's a lot of people that, and you got to remember, when you pimping, you leaving culture, right? So you got hoes, but those hoes got kids and families, and that shit just passed
legacy.
on.
And I want to end this off by saying this, man. In our culture, we love the gangsters, the rappers, man. The pimps got the culture, as you can see, within itself. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning new things. OG gave us the game. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Coach. We sit here at Conduit Media. I have my great brother Pimpin Ken. Again, we're gonna sit down and work again. And thanks for
taking me out to eat, y'all.
Yeah, thank you for coming to my platform.
Take me out to eat.
Pimpin don't stop. Pimpin don't stop.